Well, goodness, bright morning, everybody. My name's Andrew, and you're watching the Kelley's Country Life. So I'll blind y'all just for a second. Today's plan, well, is to go work on the pole barn house. This is part 2 of the basically wrap everything up series. I have got to just keep knocking out a long laundry list of stuff. I can't speak this morning. So it will not be the same old thing. There's not really good teaching moments and all on this. It's just a bunch of little, like I said, laundry list of things I've got to get done before the spray foam people show up and before the sheetrockers show up right behind them. So anything in the wall cavities that couldn't get covered up has to be done, has to be correct now. Also today we have the propane guy coming to install the propane lines in the house, set my tank, I do believe. Expecting him here any minute, as well as the window company is coming today, the original one that I was trying to go with. They're going to take some measurements to let me know their time frame so I can make a decision on which window company to go with. So hopefully we get some good information today. A lot going on. Let's get to work. All right, so one of the things I showed you, the main AC return for the house was put over here, but after we started mapping out where we truly wanted the AC to go up here, we changed the location of it. It was originally going to go right here. So this return is no good. I need to put a piece of wood in there to get back to my 16-inch on centers for the sheetrockers, and the HVAC tech has requested that I move the return over to here now, since the AC unit will be over in this general area. So I need to pull some wire back out, cut these studs, and actually frame out a box that looks very similar to that right over here. So he can hook the return up and then go back along the wall. All right, so the next thing to figure out before, again, insulation and sheetrock is I got to get all penetrations through the side of the wall of the house. And I'm close to having that done, minus a couple things. One big thing is the microwave vent stack right here. And I have been back and forth and did a lot of reading on how I want to vent the over-range microwave. So right in this area right here is our gas stove. We have decided above it, instead of doing a range hood, we're going to do one of those nice big microwaves that are also vented. We had one in our last house. It worked quite well. Now here's the thing. You can vent these two kinds of ways. One is non-vented through the roof, nothing like that. It has a grease filter in the bottom and it just recirculates air right back into your room. That makes a whole lot of sense, right? Those basically don't work. The other way is you actually vent out the top of them through the cabinets that are above. That's how we did our last home, and right up and out. Most people vent through a roof. I can actually vent through a wall here. Now, here's the thing. A lot of reading says if you go with round ductwork, which I am, because that's the easiest stuff for me to get right now. Actually, there's a pile of it behind me. I'm just gonna buy a little bit from the HVAC guys right there. That's the easy stuff to run. That's the easy elbows to get. It comes with a rectangle on top of the microwave and a lot of the hoods. So I'll just have to do a rectangle to round vent adapter. No big deal, Lowe's, everybody sells those. But every bit of reading up I have done, while I don't find specific code, I see manufacturers' guidelines for length of piping and all. Most people agree no more than 2 hard 90 elbows, and the shorter the length of pipe, the better it's gonna flow, the better it's gonna operate. So I have decided to run out the side of the house instead of going all the way to the back, because if I went all the way to the back, I would have so many elbows, I think it would really restrict the flow. So I've got to come out up, and then I'm gonna go over straight out the side of the house. So I have one elbow, just a few feet of pipe, should get full flow. If I were gonna go all the way to the back wall to where I'm venting everything else, I would have to go up, elbow over, because, well, I don't want it running through the middle of the floor, using up my attic space. Then I have to do another elbow back, another elbow up, another elbow out. That's way too many elbows, and triple to quadruple the length of piping back there. I'm afraid I would have to do oversized piping to get extra flow, and it just would not work well. So straight up, out the side, I think it's gonna look good. I got one of these, I think this is stainless microwave hood vents, or side wall caps, excuse me. It's got a louvered spring-loaded design right there. And 6-inch is recommended for all the size microwaves we're looking at, unless you get some extremely high flow, which we're not. So I have to figure out where to come out. It's going to come out on the other side of this truss, right in this area. I think that'll look okay out there. You'll never see it. I can paint it black to match the truss if I want, but I kind of like the stainless look. Now, yes, there is some concerns there. One, it's going to make noise on the porch. No big deal. It's really not going to get used much. My biggest concern is, am I going to see grease dripping down the side outside? I never seen that coming out of the hood vent that we had at the last house, ever actually, because, well, we just don't fry inside. We don't fry inside at all. That's kind of one of our rules. Frying inside makes bad smells. We don't like it the way it is in the house. Plus, we just don't really eat fried food. It doesn't agree well with me. We'll fry just a few times a year, and if we're going to do that, we've got an outdoor kitchen. We'll go fry fish and all the other stinky stuff right outside. So to be perfectly honest with you, this hood vent's not going to get used a whole lot other than sucking some heat off the stove when Tiffany's doing some cooking in here. But don't forget, the type of people we are, I guarantee you 50% or more of our cooking is going to be outside on that back porch throughout the year. So this is not going to give a tremendous amount of use. I figured a lot of y'all are going to ask me that. You're venting out the side, that's probably not good for grease and everything else. We just don't fry inside. That's kind of always been a rule for us. No frying inside at all. We can't stand it. So I think this is going to work out really well and be very easy to run. So let's go ahead and get that poked through today, because I have got to have that penetration. We're actually going to have to do some of our first hardy board to make this work too. Here's Johnny. I figure it's better to go ahead and paint the trim now instead of once the vent is in. That way I don't get the vent all covered in paint. This will allow me to go on in the edges that I couldn't access anyways. It seals this cement board even better. So it's got a lot of benefits. And it just so happens I already have the color paint we're going to paint the house. Now all the trim that's going to go around windows and corners, we're painting that white. But a trim like this I don't want to accent because, well, I kind of want this to hide up here. You're already going to see the vent anyways. All right, well, it's Friday afternoon. I'm sure y'all are watching this on Sunday by now, but I'm about to wrap this up a little early and try to enjoy my weekend. But a relatively productive day. Had a lot going on in the background that y'all didn't see that I'll fill you in real quick because, well, y'all like to stay in the loop. So we got the microwave vent done up there, sealed inside, pipe sticking out the wall so they can blow spray foam around it and not actually clog it up. And I don't think it's going to be that noticeable up there, honestly, y'all. Like when you're down here on the porch, that is almost 12 foot up, right at it. You're just not going to see that. I think that's going to look perfectly fine the way that it is. So I'm no longer concerned. So we got that HVAC return moved. Things are moving along. What y'all haven't seen in the background was today I had a window company come out. They got the windows measured. Oh, let me fill y'all in on that real quick if you're interested. All right, so to start off with, if I want to get them to trim or encase the window, which I do, like a normal window comes with a nail strip, everything, and you just kind of go inset the window, nail it, and do white vinyl, for example, to match the windows we already have. They quoted me 15 to 20 weeks. Oh, wow. Yikes. I said, I can't leave my house open for that many months. I already got another window company that quoted me 4 months, so might as well go with them, done worked up a deal with them. But they gave me an option. I'm scared to death it's going to be an unbelievably expensive option. He says, we do not build the vinyl trim or any kind of trim in the house exception of what we do for our commercial units, which is powder coated aluminum. They can get it in any color, white, for example, which matches everything else I have. And it's a U-shaped trim with a gasket. So we've all seen it at the commercial restaurants and everywhere else you go. You got your big plate glass that sits in the middle of about a 4-inch wide aluminum trim. He says, we can build those in-house. He said, I can actually get the glass in like 2 weeks. It's the shipping out and getting trimmed and all is what takes months. I said, quote me on that aluminum trim, especially if you can get it white, and I'll figure out how to trim that in and make it look good. I can live with that. It wasn't quite what I was looking for, but I should be able to trim that out. Should be able to look good, but I like the option of a few weeks getting windows in versus 5 months down the road. So we have an option there, but I can already tell by the way he was talking about powder coated aluminum, and it's the good stuff that the commercial units used, and I'm gonna go ahead and get tempered glass and all this other stuff. I could tell it's going to be expensive. I'm scared to death on the quote. I hope it's at least what the other windows were or less. Since they're building it in-house, that should save on freight and all the other costs, right? So fingers crossed, y'all be praying for me on that one, that I can get some quick windows and I guess an even better framing if you look at it. So what else did we have going on today? Well, the gas company has started. So they showed up. I've already got my plumbing in for the stove back here. They have got my T and tie-in up here now to start running and go up through the roof all the way over to the outside. They just got a late start today, had some issues this morning. They're going to have to come back first of the week to make that big long run over there and plumb in for the outside. And the gas line, it is a stainless like flex line that runs all the way over to there, pokes out the side of the house, and we have something new sitting out there. By the way, here is my Renai tankless water heater. I'm excited to get that. Killer deal they were offering. All right, so new, look at here. We actually have our tank sitting out here now, and I was gonna get them to tuck it up to the house, and then I got to thinking, do I really want it right next to the house where the drip edge is, always hitting the top of the tank, always keeping the house damp and wet? I decided no. Eventually that would probably start discoloring the paint and just making it look a little odd. So I'm not crazy about how far I've got it set off the house, but it's better than having to put it way out here in the yard, which is what I'd had to do with a bigger tank. But we're gonna live with it for now. I think they're running flex line out here as well, so I should have some freedom in moving that, or I'll just pay for them to move it down the road if I don't like it. But I did want to get it back away from the house. Eventually we're probably gonna do some sort of mulch bed and all here anyways. But the reason it's in this location is because, well, nobody's gonna see it. If everybody's on the front porch entertaining, pulling in and parking up front, in the pool, you can't see it driving in from the road. It's just a good back corner to kind of hide something that's ugly, and the gas truck can still back in here, fill it up, do whatever they need to do. So I went with a 120-gallon tank. Per law, they can only fill that up to 80%, so it's just under 100 gallons of fuel. I think it'll be fine. And here is the stub end that they ran out of the house. that I need to go ahead and caulk and seal right now because they are calling for some rain tomorrow. So I'll get that off camera right there. They just got to trench a small line to here and then trench another line to where the water heater is going right here, and they're going to do me a hookup for my generator, a high pressure hookup, so I can run right to a generator plug that we're going to install probably on the next episode. So yeah, things are moving along. All right, that was enough rambling on. Hopefully y'all been enjoying the little catch-up episodes. We're going to have a part 3 here, most likely, or either I'll just do independent episodes on stuff like wiring and generator plugs, sealing the house, things like that. So we have more stuff coming. We're ultimately working towards spray foam, sheetrock, and all these rough-in inspections. Oh, I'm worried about them. Well, I just don't know what to expect. I'm not worried. If he finds stuff, he finds stuff, and I know he's going to find something. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Catch you on the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching.